Okay, so I got this from Harbor Freight, and first thing is, these broke when I tried tightening things down. So the first thing I did was get some different nuts to put on the end of these to be able to tighten this down appropriately. The thing that I found out right away is things are much easier if you have a vise. Unfortunately, I do not have a vise here, so I had to do everything by hand. This was the line that I took out that was leaking in one of these ends here. So I cut it and I did some practice flares first. And with this tool, it constantly was failing on me. So that's how things were coming out. Really crooked, not good at all. Even the top side was really bad. And part of the reason, I think, is because when you use this, you put this on here, you have the line in there. As you can see, it's a little tricky to get everything all lined up correctly. You start to screw things down with the die in place, with the line in there, and one of the things I noticed is there's a lot of play in this. So as you're screwing it down, just so you can see here, things can kind of wiggle around and get out of alignment. And if it's just a tad bit crooked, if you don't have it just right, you're going to end up with something like this. You're going to end up with something bad. You don't want that. So I tried with the NiCopp and had similar results over and over and over again. This thing just wasn't working at all. So yeah, do all of this, at your own discretion, right? Because doing brake lines is you need to make sure the brake lines are done correctly. So this is pretty much garbage. What I did instead is I went on Eastwood and I found something like this. So this is a 3/16 die that you put your line in. You get everything identified right, where you're going to put it here. And this die holds everything in place. And so with this die in here, and you start to put this in here, again, I'm just kind of showing as an example, you tighten this down, nothing is moving around. There's no wiggling of this die in here in this line. Everything's lined up properly. Here's the one that I was doing with the Eastwood. Here's the one that I was doing with the Harbor Freight, and it was just having all kinds of issues. But this one was still kind of not smooth. It kind of wasn't perfect. You can see here what I was getting was this weird extra lip. Everything needs to be smoothly attached. So here's one that actually did come out right, and everything is nice and smooth. So there's a trick to using this with the NiCopp line. So this is NiCopp. It's much softer. It's easier to flex and bend versus something like this that is steel. Now the difference is the diameter, the inner diameter of this is slightly thinner than what this would be. When you put this in here, there is a line here that shows you exactly how far this should bump up. It actually even comes with a die. The die actually tells you, stop there, clamp this down. Okay, you clamp everything down, and then you're at the appropriate place here. But what I found out is because of the fact that this NiCopp line is much thinner, you actually have to ever so slightly push it a little further back. So what I've done is maybe where this line is here, I've pushed the NiCopper slightly back. So I moved it slightly back. So I'm doing less protrusion than what the die stopper actually wants me to do and what the directions show. Now when I did that, everything came out nice and smooth. So that's how it's supposed to look. So you can use something like this that kind of holds its shape to form your line, to walk through and kind of form the shape of your line.